Hello and welcome back to Bulldogito News, the channel where crypto bites harder than the market. We have an electrifying update today as two of the biggest names in crypto are on a tear. Bitcoin and XRP are surging, and if you've been following us, you know we saw this coming. We're not just giving you the news, we're giving you the "we told you so" victory lap you deserve. Let's dive right in. Bitcoin's price has been on a roaring uptrend, defying a shaky start to the week in traditional finance. While US stock indices tanked on Monday, the S&P 500 down 2.4% and the Nasdaq and Dow Jones each dropping 2.5%. The crypto market held strong. In fact, Bitcoin barely flinched during the stock market dip. It maintained its weekend gains even as equities sank. Market analysts are buzzing that this divergence highlights Bitcoin's evolving role as a safe haven asset, noting that Bitcoin's rally coincided with gold hitting record highs. It's a classic flight to safety, but this time the flight is into digital gold. And fly it did. Bitcoin's price surged to its highest levels in over a month. For the first time since early March, Bitcoin exceeded the $90,000 mark, showcasing renewed momentum in the market. Just hours before, it had been flirting with the upper end of a consolidation range around $88,000. That range was a ceiling it hadn't cracked in weeks, but Bitcoin smashed through it. By Tuesday morning, the cryptocurrency actually touched about $90,341 according to CoinGecko data, a level not seen in roughly 6 weeks. Talk about a comeback. Over a span of just days, Bitcoin rocketed from last week's lows near approximately $83,000 to nearly $91,000, roughly a 10% gain in under a week. This surge secured the milestone after what one report called a close call late Monday, when Bitcoin nearly hit that mark before retreating. In other words, Bitcoin smelled $90,000, liked it, and came charging back for more. Can we take a moment to appreciate how Bitcoin basically said stock market who? The Dow and Nasdaq were seeing red, but Bitcoin was seeing green and gold. This is the kind of action that makes skeptics squirm. Exactly what we love to see. Remember those folks saying Bitcoin isn't a safe haven? They got a wake-up call this week. Bitcoin acted like the grown-up in the room of global finance. When politics rattled the stock market, Bitcoin held the line. We've been saying on this channel that when the going gets tough, the tough get Bitcoining. And here it is. Proof in the market pudding. This digital gold narrative isn't just talk anymore. It's playing out in real time. If you're a long-time Bitcoiner, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back, or maybe do a little victory dance, because we told you Bitcoin's bite is harder than the market's bark. The price rally isn't just a flash in the pan. It's being underpinned by serious institutional interest and some bold predictions. We're talking big money flowing in. In fact, US-based Bitcoin ETFs just saw their largest single-day net inflows since January, with over $381 million pouring in on April 21st. Think about that for a second. Hundreds of millions of fresh dollars from institutional players all in one day. One report highlights that major funds like ARK's 21 shares Bitcoin ETF and Fidelity's Bitcoin Fund led the pack in new investments. And over the past week, analysts estimate more than 300 million plus flooded into spot Bitcoin ETFs, including BlackRock's iShares fund. This wall of money from the smart money crowd has undoubtedly helped propel Bitcoin's price upward. It's the classic case of institutional FOMO. The big players don't want to miss the next leg of the crypto bull run. On-chain metrics are flashing bullish as well. With Bitcoin now around the $90,000 level, a stunning 91% of all BTC wallets are in profit at these prices. You read that right. Virtually everyone who's been holding Bitcoin is sitting on gains. This is the highest percentage of profitable wallets we've seen this cycle, a clear testament to how far we've come from the bear market doldrums. It's like the entire network of Bitcoin holders just got an early holiday present in their portfolio. Meanwhile, the bold predictions are rolling in hotter than ever. Veteran investor Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has doubled down on his uber bullish outlook. Kiyosaki says he strongly believes Bitcoin will reach $180,000 to $200,000 in 2025. And that's after calling out that Bitcoin was around $84,000 when he made that prediction. According to him and other analysts, this rally is just the beginning of a larger move that could see Bitcoin more than double from here over the coming year or two. Cue the confetti cannons, because this is the victory parade we've been waiting for. If you've been tuning into Bulldogito news, you know we've been banging the drum about institutional adoption and those sky-high price targets. And now it's happening for real. I mean, look at those ETF inflows. Wall Street is finally throwing cash at Bitcoin like it's the hottest tech stock. Remember when the experts said institutions would never embrace Bitcoin? We told you they would, and now BlackRock, Fidelity, all the financial titans are diving in head first. And how about Kiyosaki and crew validating what we've been saying? When we shouted from the rooftops that six-figure Bitcoin was on the horizon, some laughed. Well, no one's laughing now, except maybe us, all the way to the bank. Moving on to XRP, the comeback kid of crypto, which is firing on all cylinders lately. XRP's price has been ripping upward, riding a wave of bullish news that validates what we at Bulldogito have been saying for months. Currently, XRP is trading around $2.10 to $2.15, holding strong above the critical $2 level. In fact, just a few months ago, XRP hit a multi-year high of about $3.40, and even though it pulled back from that peak, it's still up massively from where it was late last year. We're talking a jump from roughly 50 cents in November to over $3 by January, an over 500% explosion. After a healthy cooldown, XRP has retraced about 35 to 40% from that high. But here's the key. It found solid support and is surging again, showing remarkable resilience in the past couple of weeks. In recent trading, XRP popped over 13% in a matter of days, moving from the high $1.90 back into the low $2.20 and establishing a new floor around $2.08. Bulls have clearly entered the chat for XRP. So what's driving this renewed momentum? Two words: Coinbase futures. Coinbase, yes, the US's largest crypto exchange, is launching XRP futures contracts on its derivatives exchange, and it's happening now, today. This is huge. For the first time in ages, US traders and institutions will have a regulated avenue to get exposure to XRP price movements via futures, thanks to the blessing of the CFTC approval on this product. It's a landmark moment that signals regulatory confidence in XRP's status. Remember, for years, XRP was sidelined on many US platforms due to the legal uncertainty with the SEC, but not anymore. Major positivity came after the closure of Ripple's SEC lawsuit, which had cast a shadow over XRP since 2020. With that case finally resolved in Ripple's favor, as we long anticipated, XRP is no longer the pariah of US crypto. Coinbase relisting XRP for spot trading was step one. Now Coinbase offering XRP futures is step two in fully integrating XRP back into the mainstream crypto markets. This 1-2 punch of legal clarity and new institutional grade products has made XRP the darling of investors once again. To put it plainly, XRP is back in the big leagues. Analysts are buzzing that the additional liquidity and interest from futures trading could be a game changer. Futures not only allow big players to hedge and speculate on XRP, but they also generally boost an asset's trading volumes and market presence. As one report noted, institutional investors see futures listings as a sign of maturity, and typically, fresh liquidity will push the price of XRP higher. In other words, more fuel for the rocket. And it's not just the futures themselves, it's what they symbolize: a fully rehabilitated XRP in the US market. The nightmare of the SEC saga is finally in the rearview mirror, and XRP can trade freely without that legal cloud. We told our viewers time and again that once XRP got past the SEC roadblock, it would be off to the races. That prediction is aging like fine wine right now. The stars are aligning for XRP. The fundamentals lit the fuse, and now the technicals are adding rocket fuel. It's as if every aspect of the market is coiling in anticipation of something big. Could we be on the verge of seeing XRP finally break that elusive $3.84 all-time high from the 2017 cycle? It's not guaranteed, but the momentum and structure are starting to look similar to past liftoffs. Importantly, the broader crypto market's bullishness, led by Bitcoin's surge, is creating a favorable backdrop. When Bitcoin runs, historically, altcoins like XRP tend to follow with amplified moves, especially once Bitcoin's own rally takes a breather. We might be entering that phase where capital rotates from Bitcoin profits into altcoin opportunities, and XRP is a prime candidate for traders seeking the next big breakout. This is the part where I get goosebumps. As a host and longtime market watcher, there's nothing quite like seeing technical analysis prophecy start to fulfill itself. I haven't seen this much coiled energy in XRP's chart in a long time. It genuinely genuinely feels like we're watching a volcano heat up here. We at Bulldogito News have highlighted these bullish signals as they developed, and it's incredibly validating to see the market responding. We waved the bullish flag when others were shy, and now that flag is planted firmly in the ground as XRP's price climbs. Honestly, it's hard to stay objective when my inner trader is screaming, "Let's go!" But hey, that's the fun of crypto news on YouTube. We get to be a little hyped because we're right there in the trenches with you all. So to everyone who trusted the process and read the charts along with us, give yourself a high five. The market's technicals are agreeing with what we've been anticipating. And to those new to the XRP party, welcome, grab a seat, or should I say a rocket booster. If these patterns play out, we're in for one heck of a ride. As always, we'll be here to track it every step of the way, dishing out the analysis with a side of Bulldogito swagger. Stay tuned, because the story of XRP 2025 is just getting started, and you better believe we'll be saying, "We told you so," all the way up. That's all for today's Bulldogito News. What a day to be in crypto! If you enjoyed this deep dive news and our enthusiastic commentary, smash that like button and subscribe for more. Drop a comment with your Bitcoin and XRP price targets. We'd love to hear if you think the rally will continue. Until next time, stay bullish, stay confident, and remember, we don't just report crypto news, we foretell it.